Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Selma and this is my YouTube. If you see me wearing this outfit multiple times, mind your business. Just mind your business, okay? This video is a little bit different. I saw Larry Reed's do this, my icon, my idol, and I thought why not do it since I do read a bunch of smaller authors. And I thought it would be fun. I've gathered around me a few books that we'll be talking about today. So we will be doing, if you like this book, read this underrated book. Because I think we should always shine light on underrated books and indie authors. And I think it would just be fun. I do have a few that I don't have physically, or I will just put a picture of. And I will try to remember all of them. I probably won't be able to, and I will think of more and do a part 2. So if you guys would want a part 2, let me know and I'll do it. But let's just get right into it. So first and foremost, this is probably the book that actually made me want to do this. And that is, if you probably got a hint. If you like Magnolia Parks, you're going to love Guilt. Now, Guilt, I read this last year, and I still think about the plot twist to this day. Could I tell you the names of the characters? Probably not. But we do know that I'm not very good with character names, even if I do love this book. But I simply can't remember her name. However, it has the same sort of vibe where it comes to like toxicity and gossip and murder and the romance. And let me explain. The romance in this book, not as toxic as the romance in this book. However, they do have the same sort of lead up, I guess you could say, or the bad boy, good girl vibe. So yeah, if you like this book, read this book. And if you like either of those books, read Ivy. Now, Ivy follows a few different POVs. And it's like Pretty Little Liar meets Gossip Girl. It has a bit of a mystery. And this is by Willow Nash. Willow Nash is the pen name for Devney Perry. I love Devney Perry. You'll see her again in this video coming. And I think the vibe of this book gives the vibe of this book. I don't know how else to explain it. Most of these are probably based on vibes, you guys. So apologies in advance. And then I have one physically and one not yet. And then we have Lilac by B.B. Reed. This was the first reverse harem that I read. This book, if you like this book, read Pretty Poison by L. Mitchell. Now, Pretty Poison is way darker than this. However, they're both Rockstar. They're both Why Choose. But please, 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 please check trigger warnings for Pretty Poison. I loved it so much. It is a duet. The second book is already out. So you're going to want to go right into it. Why can I not remember the name of the second book? Please hold. Please hold. I can see my friends going like this. The second book is called The Road to Ruin. That's what it's called. So yeah, so if you like Lilac, read Pretty Poisoned. And then this one is a bit more hard to explain. But I saw them and I'm like, this sort of matches. We have if you like A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime, you're gonna love Chasing River. Now, I read this book. I still remember this vividly. I read this book on vacation while in Egypt last year. If you guys don't know, I'm Egyptian, but I have a Canadian passport and I live in the UK. But I read this while I was on vacation in Egypt, and it is a debut novel, and it is a beautiful, beautiful debut novel. I don't talk about this book enough, and I really should, because This book follows Armani and River, and they are rivals, and basically the story goes from there. I don't want to say much else. But the reason why it reminded me of A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime is because Ren and what is her name? Or what is his name? Crew are also rivals. So they go hand in hand. This is not bully, but there is a mystery element to this book that will leave you like, what the fuck is going on? So. And then we have, if you love the Brutal Birthright series by Sophie Lark, specifically, I want to say Brutal Prince, you're going to love the Sinners Anonymous series. Now, this series is really not talked about enough. It goes, well, I can't remember the order now. It goes Sinners Anonymous, book 1, then Sinners Condemned, and then Sinners Consumed. I know there's a 4th book coming out. This first 2 are a duet following the same couple. The 3rd one is a separate couple. And it is a very, it's dark romance, but it's like on the lighter side of dark romance. If you want to like dip your toes into dark romance, this is a series for you. I love both these series. I think both of these series need to be more hyped. This is the series that got me into dark romance, and I will forever be thankful. Savage Lover is my favorite, in case you were wondering. Whew, you guys, I'm just yapping. Now, another one that also makes sense in my brain is, if you love Redeemed, like I love Redeemed, you're going to love Jumpstart. The reason I say this is because Santi is a grumpy man. Leonard is a grumpy man. They're both grumpy sunshine. I wouldn't say this is enemies to lovers, because this one is more enemies to lovers. She is his brother's best friend. They fake date, but the vibe of the main male characters is what brings these 2 books together. They both would do anything for their partner, their love interest, words. And I too truly think that this series needs more hype. Everybody go read this book right now. And this one as well, because this is just me yapping about my favorite books. Any excuse to yap about my favorite books. Now, this next one. Okay, let me explain. These next 2 books, you're going to be like, Salma, what the fuck are you talking about? Let me explain. So, nothing in these 2 books really match. Except, I want to say the powers-ish. So, let me show. Okay, so if you love Zodiac Academy, but don't love the bullying, but you don't love the bullying, read By the Orchid and the Owl. Now, Ollie's gonna be like, what are you talking about? Okay, so, they have in Zodiac Academy, the 2 main characters, Tori and Darcy, have powers that they didn't know they had. Here, Reina has powers. She knows that she would unlock said powers when she goes to the Institute. However, she didn't know how strong her powers are. That's sort of where the main characters come into play. So they're both badass female characters. They're both very, very powerful. There is no bullying in this. Cohen has my whole heart. There is so much bullying in this, especially the first book. So please be warned. The first book is not the best one. If you want to go into it, just know that. This is not a completed series. The second book will be out soon. But that's where the comparison comes from. Please, 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 please read this. Like, please, I'm begging. Hold on, people. Hear me out, because just okay, let me just show. If you love Binding 13, which, if you don't love this book, except you, Ollie. If you don't love this book, if you love this book, read Stay in Your Lane. Now, I've talked about this book so many fucking times. You guys are probably like, Salma, we already know this, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Just shut up. This book and this book, what they have in common is pretty much nothing other than the fact that they are both sports. However, there's so much more than just sports to it. This one is rugby and this one is swimming. But the female main character is a swimmer and the main male character is a lifeguard in this. The female main character is a rugby player and the male main character is a rugby player in this. The female player doesn't play. But what I see as them being similar is the story of the female male characters being so strong and overcoming so much struggle and pain. Not the same type of pain, because if you read this book, then you know what I'm talking about with Shannon. Not the same type of pain in this book. But it's just, it tugs at your heartstrings that I felt the same type of way reading this book that I did this book, even though they're two different types of struggles. Check trigger warnings for each of them, obviously. But yeah, I know the author of this book, will be watching this and screaming because I'm comparing it to Chloe Walsh. You're welcome, but I stand by my point and I will die on this hill. Next we have, okay, so these two books are actually like more on the popular side, but I just couldn't go and not mention them. So if you love Icebreaker, I think you'll love Consider Me. Now, there's a reason I say this is because, well, they're both hockey. Carter is the resident bad boy, yes, and Nate is not. However, they gave me the same vibe because I feel like they're both golden retrievers. I feel like they both had to win over their women, and Olivia and Stassi were both more closed off than the main male characters were. That's where the comparison, I think, comes from. And I love both of these books. So, okay, we're going to switch it up a bit. If you love Flawless, you're going to love Indigo Ridge. Now, listen. This is a bull riding cowboy yeehaw romance. This is also sort of yeehaw. Oh, small town. This is small town, sort of yeehaw. It is sort of like a mystery. What I think sort of brings these two together is the found family. The found family in both these series are so good. I can't emphasize enough how much I love both of these series and how much I love the found family. So that's what I think brings these two together. Also, speaking of found family, if you love Nightfall or Devil's Night in general, I just brought Nightfall because it was the easiest one to me. You're going to love The Lies We Steal. Now, I read this book because Larry won't shut up about it. My friend bought it for me. Erla, I love you. And when I was reading this, I couldn't stop thinking about Devil's Night. And you'll be like, well, isn't that going to take away from the experience of reading this book? And I'm like, no. I'll tell you why. Because the love that these characters have for each other reminds me of the love that these characters have for each other. This one, it's not the same plot-wise. Like, it is bully. It is dark. But the reasoning for, like, if I was holding Corrupt, because it's the first book in the series, if I was holding Corrupt, the reasoning for both of these are different. But I think the vibe and the atmosphere and the found family and the loyalty between when I say brothers, I mean they're friends, but like the brothers in this and the brothers in this, so Michael, Kai, Damon, and Will, remind me so much of them. So that's where I think the comparison comes from. And I think that's it. I've been talking for like 15-ish minutes, but I hope you gain some new treasures. I probably have more, so I'll probably make a part 2. But these are just the ones that I came up with today. If you want a part 2, please like and comment, subscribe, and let me know what sort of videos that you want to see other than a part 2 to this. My Amazon wishlist, my Patreon, and my Instagram will be linked down below. You guys get balloons as well. It'll be linked down below. If you made it to the end of the video, leave a house emoji. Do all the YouTube stuff that you know how to do. We're almost at 150, you guys. I'm so excited. And I love you all so much. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.